G'day you beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some good, bad and in-between things in Genesis. I was going to actually post this video a couple of days ago. I had it done and ready to upload, and decided to not go ahead with it because I felt like I was being a little bit harsh, and I also came across some information which changes my opinion on some things. So starting off with the good. The game is just fun. The game is very fun. The control scheme works quite well. There are some issues with it. An issue that Brick HD brought up was that there are some, there's a couple of things that you might want to do that sort of require you to either take one hand off the controller, so to speak, or play claw, like pinging while moving around and attacking and stuff like that. It can be a little bit of a nuisance, but overall the game is fun. The characters are great, they look great, their animations are great, and their kits are quite good. Although now this sort of comes down to me being a bit of a whinger. Okay, I know it's because I'm being a bit of a whinger, but there is a lot of CC, like carries. It's not the amount of CC, it's the places in which they're put. There's not very many silences in the game compared to stuns. There's not as many roots as there are stuns. That sort of doesn't bother me too much. It's more like having a carry that is a free character that everyone starts to play that has a chance to micro stun on auto attacks. Things like that. It's just a little bit cheap and cheesy, especially considering that you can actually build items that do this for you, so I don't really understand why it's part of a kit. Micro stuns on a character that's meant to deal massive damage at the end of a game just seems a little bit silly, but the characters are good. As I said, their animations are great, they look great. There's a lot of customization for most of them, and the game is fun. Now, one thing that might kind of be a bit sort of new to some of the people that are coming from Paragon that haven't played things like mobile phone MOBAs, there's a lot of currencies in the game, but I kind of see it as a good thing. I don't mind the way that MOBAs on mobile are monetized. You can pretty much get everything for free. There's some stuff as far as cosmetics go that you're probably going to have to buy with real money, so you might not get all that stuff. But there's a lot of sort of bounties and objectives and ranking lists that can earn you currencies, logging in every day, playing a match as a certain character, winning a match, doing some of the campaign mode, which is actually alright. I've done a bit of the campaign mode, which it's nothing special, but it's something sort of easy and a bit different to jump into when maybe you're a little bit stressed from PvP, to earn some currencies to go towards buying more characters. That is great. Couple of things that are in the middle, not awesome, not bad, mainly because two of them are potentially getting fixed. First off being no ranked mode at the start. This was one thing that I complained about in the video I was going to post, but it turns out that that's actually coming next week, so that's not really too big of an issue. Servers are a mixed bag. There is a fix coming potentially before this video actually goes live, depending on what time I decide to actually post it. There is a chance that the patch might come out about 4 hours before I post this video, if I go off the time I did my last video. But from what I understand, that is going to fix the big spikes in pings. I'm not sure if it is just because I'm in OCE, I'm in Oceania, being in Australia. I've heard that we are sharing our servers with India, which kind of seems a little bit weird because I thought India was Eurasia, and Eurasia is not part of Oceania last time I checked. But that sort of works out with what our ping is. I have actually seen, mentioning Bredick before, I've actually watched a bit of him playing the game and noticed that he has quite a high ping for being in America. I'm running with somewhere between 200 to 280 as a standard ping, and that sort of sometimes spikes up to 400, 600, 800. Those are big problems. The 4, 6, and 8, especially when you're, you know, I've been playing as characters that need to initiate to start a team fight, and I jump in and then can't use any of my abilities because it's just super laggy, and there's nothing I can do, and I just die. The 200 to 280 ping standard is a little bit weird. You know, if the servers were in Australia, I would have between 1 and 30 for my ping, because they're normally in Sydney or Melbourne. But it doesn't feel like I'm running a 200 plus ping. 200 plus ping to me on Paragon was playing on West US. And I actually did a couple of games on West US at the end of Paragon when they shut down the OCE servers, and it was just unplayable. Completely unplayable. But when I have a stable game at 200 to 280, and there's no big spikes, I don't really notice any sort of input lag or lag at all, really. It feels normal. So I'm not sure whether these numbers aren't quite right. But yeah, it's a bit annoying, but as I said, there is a fix coming in that's hopefully going to fix the massive spikes in pings. Speaking of pings, the in-game ping system, i.e. attack, retreat, and so on and so forth, is quite good. Like I mentioned before, it can be a bit of a hassle to sort of navigate that while you're moving, because you do need to hold a direction on the D-pad and then use one of your analog sticks to select what you want to go for. That's kind of annoying, but they're very customizable. If you go in your menus, you have a set of 3 tabs for your pings, you know, sort of attacking stuff. You know, you can go in and you can take off any of the pings that are already there and change them to something else, which is quite good. There are a few pings that I would rather be on those lists that aren't there, like, you know, I'm not sure if I just haven't looked through it all properly, but, you know, careful left lane, sort of stuff like that would be nice to have. The things that are really bad, that are really shitting me, and getting on my nerves, are deathballing. I'm not sure exactly what they can do with this, because I don't know what other MOBAs do to disincentivize deathballing. I'm assuming it's something to do with the XP economy. But if you come across a team of 5, there is a good chance that once they get their ultimates, they're just going to deathball each lane and snowball. It's not fun for anyone involved. The next thing is something that Briddick actually touched on, and I wasn't quite aware of exactly how this works, but I had noticed that it was something that was a bit of an issue. Is that super minions, you need to get rid of all 3 inhibitors, so to speak, or T3 towers, to get those to spawn, which probably going to put the gameplay in the background of a match that went for 38 minutes. We should have lost this match somewhere before the 20-minute mark. We had an AFK player from sort of like 5 or 10 minutes in, I think. They were doing quite well as a team. They were grouping up, they were pushing us, getting quite a few kills, and if it wasn't for the fact that we didn't get all of our tier 3 towers down, and I was able to get enough kills and get enough farm to build well as a carry, which was something that unfortunately for the enemy team, their carry wasn't doing, because they were actually building 3 mobility items, which was just, I'm not sure what was going on there. I was able to shit on the enemy team a little bit. My team ended up coming back from that, and we actually ended up winning on kills. But if it wasn't for the fact that these super minions weren't spawning from just getting 1 inhibitor down, you know, they would have won sort of 15-20 minutes in. It would have been an easy game for them, but we managed to come back. Speaking of AFK players, it is probably just because it is new, it is on the PlayStation Store, you're going to get a lot of people downloading it in the early months. It may calm down a bit, but there is a lot of AFK. Someone will spawn at the start of a match, go do something stupid, die, and then just leave the game. It just happens over and over and over again, and I'm sick of it, just like in the match that you're seeing in the background here. That's good, some sort of good, and some bad stuff. Just, you know, might be nice to know, since it's the weekend, maybe you're going to sit down and eventually play it. Just keep those things in mind. Keep in mind that ranked is coming. Servers are apparently being fixed. If it's not completely fixed with this patch that is coming that I mentioned, they'll probably do some more work on it. And they seem like they're pretty good, Rampage. So, they'll probably build on it and make it a bit better. Listen to the community and change some of the things I've talked about. But yeah, interested to know what you think and how you're enjoying the game. So let me know in the comment section down below. There's a bunch of buttons you can push down below if you fucking feel like it. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Love your face. Catch you in the next one. Peace.